After going 1-8 your first year, the next 4 years, you turn the program around. You go 22-17, a lot of progress, and a lot of kids out to school. Then you was released from East Chicago Central. Um, Going to play, how you felt about leaving East Chicago?
Oh, I hated it. I hated to leave. I really never took a job thinking I would take it. I'm not one of those guys that you take a job, you win, and hey, there's something else out there. I really thought that East Chicago would be a place that I could stay for a long time. I met my wife there, and she's an East Chicago person, so we had absolutely no desire to leave. I think the problem in coaching today is you build a foundation and you put together what you think is a plan for and a direction for kids to join, and to it just continues and gets better and better. A lot of people in administration don't understand that sometimes that plan just has to stay its course. It's not always considered successful by how many wins you have, or unsuccessful by how many losses you have. It's more personal successes through goals of kids, and accomplishments of kids, and the team growing together, the program growing together as one as the seasons go on, the former players coming back and seeing how the offense and defense have progressed, and how the program has evolved, and they take pride in that, and we were starting to do that, and it was unfortunate that it came to an end, and you just realize that it doesn't mean people are bad people. It just means they're not on the same page with goals and achievements. And so sometimes it's better to go somewhere where they share the same goal, that education and personal accomplishments sometimes mean a little bit more than wins and losses on a Friday night. And I was fortunate enough to land to another place that did have that same goal of success of kids, and personal goals, and families coming together and seeing that their kids are progressing. That's important, because we were doing it in East Chicago, and I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed the families there over there, but there are other good places, and I found a place, so I was very fortunate.
So you picked Morton High School. Um, in your 5 years at East Chicago Central, during that time span, Morton had a record of 7-41. Kind of go into your thoughts and the challenges of coming from EC
Sure.
going to Morton.
Now, I didn't choose Morton High School because I wanted to turn it around, and they happened to be a program that was open and looking for a coach, and I happened to be a coach that was looking for a team, so it kind of worked out that way. Certainly made it very difficult that they weren't successful and that we didn't have a lot of kids. I remember turning the list of 68 players over to East Chicago so the next coach could have 68 players, and then I inherited 19.
Wow.
And so it was a reality check. Humility had to come into play. I had to remember that high school coaching and coaching in general isn't about me. It's not personal. You can't worry about your record and your accolades. You have to stay the course, and understand that what you were building in East Chicago can be built somewhere else, and you just have to, maybe you take about 5 or 6 steps on the ladder back down, but if you're a tough enough person, and you've got good faith and family and friends, you get through all that stuff. And fortunately, I did have all that and do have all that, and things worked out great. The Morton family welcomed me. We weren't used to winning, and the kids at Morton did know how to work hard, so that was a really good start for us.
Okay. Going to kind of describe what's the difference in the athlete from East Chicago Central and the athlete at Morton, and how did you, what was your goals to reach?
The hard part was getting off of where we left off at East Chicago, where we had been there 4 years or 5 years, and we had understood how the offense had evolved. You had to go back to where you think you could start that evolution, or start the process at Morton with the limited number of kids and with the athletic ability at the time. You certainly can't go from point 9 to point 10 if you have to start all over again. So we kind of scaled back and tried to picture what it would be like if we were the next year at East Chicago with a lot of new kids and with a lot of different levels of talent. So that was really the plan, that I thought, let's get to know these kids and let's try to build this thing all over again, and get them to do what they do well and get them to enjoy it, and let's adjust our success level to personal goals and personal accomplishments and family get-togethers and that kind of stuff. And so The first year was 3-8, and for me that was like going back to my first year in Chicago. To the kids at Morton, that was fantastic. Like you said, the record had not been successful, so winning 3 games that year was a tremendous year. And I had to remember and remind myself continuously, it's really not about me, it's about us and how we all feel as a program, and the fact that we felt improvement, we felt strides. We ended the season with about 32 players. That was big for us. Our school started to see some turnaround in the kids, and we were starting to attract maybe a little bit different kind of athlete, someone that saw that this could be fun, and I could actually touch the football on a Friday. And so it really started to take off, and not until the call-out meeting of my second year, where we had 50 or 60 kids in the room, did I realize that people were just kind of waiting to see if this was fun before they jumped in. And I didn't have to do that in Chicago because Davey Goski made it fun, and I was able to take over and change it my way. And so I had to make it fun until the kids come out, and once they came out, we were able to kind of jump back on board. And I look at us at East Chicago maybe from a 1 to 10 at 8 when I left, and then my second year at Morton we were at about 4. But I saw us getting back to that direction of getting to 8, so I was very encouraged by that. Decided to stay and see what we could get done.
Okay. Going into your second year, you was offered the opportunity to be the athletic director. Explain to us the pressures of being not only the athletic director but also the head coach.
Yeah, I think, Carl, it's not something I wanted. The athletic director decided to retire at the last day of school, and I thought, wow, that's kind of unfortunate, because at East Chicago I kind of felt like the end of my tenure was brought on by a lot of change in administration, change in the people that maybe shared my goals. Those people were on their way out, and I didn't want that to happen again. I thought, wow, we get new administration, new athletic director, what could possibly happen? Maybe another change in direction, and maybe it's time for me to get out. And so when I was offered the opportunity to be the athletic director, it wasn't really out of desire to do so. It was desire to create the fact that maybe the desire to eliminate the possibility of change, because I kind of liked what I saw, and I thought things are really going to pick up, and I didn't want to change at the time. Little did I know that taking that job would create change for me in my life and my wife's, our family life, as far as now diving into the school and making education, making athletics my life. And we decided that if we were going to do that, then probably putting a family together would not be something we would do. We would make this our family, and no regrets. My wife and I are very happy, and that it's something that we've done, and we've enjoyed it. So that was difficult. Being the athletic director and the coach, I think the biggest challenge is I have to remember that I have to treat the other coaches as if I'm not a head coach, but at the same time I can't put demands on other coaches in sports that I'm not putting on myself in football. And sometimes that can be difficult. You know, it's hard to be the athletic director when your team's not winning, and then here you bring in a coach and say, listen, we want to start seeing some results. I have to remember what I go through as a coach and put myself in those shoes and make sure I'm being fair as an athletic director and encouraging and helpful. Those are things that you have to keep remembering what hat you're wearing, and try to remember that being an athletic director is nothing more than being another coach that's trying to help people win and support people and encourage kids. And it can be demanding. As long as you remember that the kids are really what it's about, it can be a lot of fun.